Chekhov 27, and welcome to the second episode of December. While usually this month is dedicated to the joyous Christmas holiday, today's episode will be dedicated to Hanukkah. So, to commemorate this fantastic holiday, I have carved this menorah out of Leroy's hooves and invited every Jewish walrus I know into my home. I will also not be wearing my sexy Santa outfit. Instead, I shall be wearing my sexy menorah costume. But before I dip my balls in this Hanukkah oil and light the candles with my hot Hanukkah body, let's watch a video. This video was suggested by Zachary, Tim, Giovanni, Liam, and Short Memes. Thank you all for your suggestion. Now, I'm not mad at any of you, I'm just fucking furious! Madagascar is a DreamWorks film that was released in 2005 to many reviews. But this isn't a movie review channel. We play video games here because we are real men and we do manly things like eat manly leaves so that we may form manly cocoons so that we can one day emerge from them as manly butterflies. I also recall having to sit through countless trailers with the god-awful image of a zebra dressed in a clown wig screaming at the top of his lungs about the circus. It always turned me on way too much and is one of the main reasons why I'm not allowed in movie theaters anymore. But you didn't click on this video to hear about the movie. You clicked on this video to hear about the game about the movie. So let's get started. Madagascar is a mediocre 3D platformer that has not necessarily committed any crimes, but has definitely stood by while they happened. The game opens with an FMV cutscene of a lion chasing a zebra, which then cuts to, holy shit! What did you do to their faces? You can't just spring that on us like that. It's too much, too fast. Listen up, game. You can't just introduce yourself to people like that. You have to introduce yourself like you're making love to a woman. Take off your clothes nice and slow like while making direct eye contact with whoever you're introducing yourself to. Trust me, game, I've met people. After that terrifying transition, you get to meet Marty, an incredibly forgettable zebra. In fact, I found it incredibly difficult to remember anything about these characters. Except for Mort, because he is the cutest little crack baby I have ever seen. That is why I am putting him in the basement with the rest. The game starts us out at the New York Zoo, which, may I point out, is not, in fact, Madagascar. The game has lied to me and is therefore no longer invited to my Christmas orgy, where I will of course be playing the baby Jesus. So you start walking around and realize that these controls are really odd. They're not atrocious, but they're not good either. Everything feels really stiff and there isn't any weight to anything. It's honestly passable for the most part, only becoming annoying when you're playing as Alex or Gloria. That's right, this game has a total of 5 playable characters because this game needs a total of 5 ways to piss me off. You get to play as Marty, Alex, Gloria, Melvin, and this penguin, who you genuinely only play as for 1 level. But we'll come back to that later. Again, everyone controls okay, aside from Gloria and Alex. And the reason that these two are on my shit list is because of a few sections in the game that made me wish I'd never been born. Gloria has these god-awful running sections that are so annoying to control. A good example is this one, where you have to smash a certain number of watermelons in a set time. Gloria can pick up these peppers and run through the watermelons while smashing them at the same time. You actually have to do it this way in order to complete the section within the time limit. The issue here is that Gloria is nearly impossible to steer. It's even difficult to get the peppers when moving at her normal speed because of how awkward these controls and the camera are. They're just not meant for precision at all, which leads into Alex's section in this dark forest. You have to go through this forest and jump from one tree branch to another. Now, this shouldn't be difficult, but the controls and camera make it difficult. In fact, I'm gonna dedicate a small segment of this video to the camera, because it is fucking awful. It moves so slow that I initially thought the game had a fixed camera that struggled to catch up to the characters. But no, this game definitely has a player-controlled camera, it's just horrifically slow, with no option to increase the speed. You're honestly better off just hitting the L button to swing the camera behind you. On top of all of this, the camera would sometimes glitch, showing more of the floor than what's actually in front of the character. Look, the camera is just not good, and if I talk about it any longer, my anxiety will peak and I will need to take a masturbation break. So let's just move on. Marty controls alright for the most part. The only major issue I ran into was in this section where you have to kick turtles to death in order to protect this tree, which gives the game 1 point for animal abuse. Ooh, and wait, that's actually animal on animal abuse, which is, kinda turning me on right now. The issue here is that Marty's kick will lock on to whatever enemy is closest to him, which is fine, but the tree counts as an enemy. So half the time, he hits the fucking tree, and there's a goddamn time limit, and the camera sucks massive donkey dick. Whenever you have to kill multiple enemies around you, the camera is your worst fucking enemy. It's too close to the characters and doesn't show enough of what's happening around you, leading to you getting hit out of nowhere. God damn it! I'm sorry. I just need to take my dick out real quick. It's freaking me out. Yes, Rabbi, I know. It's very big. Playing as the penguin is fine, nothing special. The penguin level is a very simplistic stealth level, because if a game doesn't have stealth, is it really a video game? But it's really not that bad. Again, showing the more mediocre side of the game. Though it does have one part where you straight up murder these sailors by dropping them into the ocean. That combined with Gloria's big bodacious booty explains this game's adult-only rating. But I'm not much of a hippo guy. I'm more of a giraffe man myself. Speaking of which, Melvin honestly controls fine. My only real problem with him is that his sections outline how simple the game really is, which I don't want to attack too hard. It's an okay difficulty level for a very stupid child. At least it's not as insulting as Barney's hide and seek and fuck the kids game, but that doesn't make the game good. It is too easy and oftentimes uninspired. This game is about as generic as it can be. Pull any game out of a pile of licensed games from 2005 and you have an 80% chance of getting something remarkably similar to this. On top of that, any perceived difficulty in this game is really just a result of poor controls and the camera being operated by an epileptic sloth! I can't take it anymore! Oh, thank God. Sweet relief. Relax, Rabbi. It's just cum. Oh my God, it will come out. I swear. You know, you're fucking rude for a rabbi. I am trying to review a video game over here. God, fucking some people. I suppose the last thing for me to talk about is the story. Now, keep in mind, I've never seen the movie, so my only source of knowledge here are the trailers and the game, which I played while under the influence of whatever breed of mushroom was growing in my toilet last week. So this might be a bit rough, but let's give it a shot. As I said, the story begins in New York City, where Marty the zebra decides to escape the zoo, which he does successfully until his dipshit friends decide to go find him. So Marty is heading for Grand Central Station while the other animals are looking for him so that they can bring him back to the zoo. But what they don't realize is that Marty is not running away because he's bored with his life in the zoo. For you see, Marty is actually running away from the penguins because it turns out Marty has a massive gambling problem, or as EA would put it, an overexposure to surprise mechanics. This led to Marty going to the penguins begging for money, which they gave to him as a loan. Now, some of you may have borrowed from a loan shark before, but I bet none of you have ever fucked with a lone penguin before. These motherfuckers are ruthless. When Marty couldn't pay back the loan, he knew that the penguins would subject him to 1,000 years of sexual punishment. He knew it was time for him to make his escape. Little did he know that the penguins had their ways of finding him. They went to their friend Michelle Obama in order to convince her to release her husband. once he was released, he cut a hole in space-time through which he dispatched SEAL Team 6, who promptly found Marty outside Grand Central Station and shot him in the dick, making sure to cause as much collateral damage to the surrounding area as possible, like true American heroes. And that, children, is why we celebrate Hanukkah every year, so that we may offer virgin sacrifices to time-traveling Samurai Obama, so that he does not rain his wrath upon us. Oh, I almost forgot! The characters don't start out with all of their abilities. Some of them need to be unlocked by collecting power cards that are always conveniently placed right next to each other. And I'm including this as an afterthought in the video because it was an afterthought in the game. All in all, Madagascar is an incredibly simplistic 3D platformer that is, at its core, fine, but not worth it when compared to something like Mario 64. If you're a fan of the movie, you might find a small amount of enjoyment here, but I highly doubt it. It's too easy, unpolished, and uninspired to be given anything better than a 2 out of 5. Now, if you'll excuse me, it is time to sing the Hanukkah song so that we may give thanks to time-traveling Samurai Obama. Ma'usur Yeshuati Lecha Tikon bet tefilati v'shama toda lejabeyak let tachin mazbeyak mitzar haminabeyak azegmor v'shir mizmor Samurai Obama Azegmor v'shir mizmor